Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so with next week's update, we got a little bit more info. Things are looking very interesting on the route the developers are taking with a specific hype character. Not only that, we got a little bit of insight which kind of gives us even more confirmation on what the route that the developers will be taking to kind of commit to buffing up a specific typing, which we knew of, and it seems that this is what they're going to be committing to. But obviously with the next workshop of Brilliant Light, that is something that we have to prepare for. Not only that, with the current workshop of Brilliant Light, make good use of farming that out, because it seems that things are going to shift. So with this boss in particular, Demas, of course, this is going to be the next workshop of Brilliant Light boss, and it seems that everything is being shifted towards this specific workshop of Brilliant Light, which is kind of understandable because they want to make the new piece of content the main attraction, of course. Now, one thing which I spoke about in my previous SLA video was how we knew about new artifacts being applied into the game, and we were just kind of waiting on whether or not when they would apply that in. Because there's a new workshop of Brilliant Light happening, clearly it's going to be releasing with that. I thought it was going to be a new artifact in the sense of a new artifact sets, as in like the 4-piece and 8 pieces and whatnot. It seems that that is not the case. No, we're getting more additional cores getting added to the game. So obviously we have our original cores, which are doing wonders, right? They're pretty decent, some of them. But it seems that they're expanding it to where there's going to be a more of a variety of cores to choose from outside to the current 2 sets that we have right now. So all in all, by the looks of it, I think there's going to be 4, right? Well, no, each slot, there's 3 slots, each of them have 2 sets each. So that's 8 all in total that we're going to be getting, because we're getting an additional 2. Well, technically 6, because yeah, if we're getting 2 different cores for each slot, so yeah, that, okay, so maths is kind of off right there. So we'll get 12 in total, there we go. So an additional 6 will be added with the newest workshop of Brilliant Light. But let me kind of go through with all the inside knowledge that we know of currently on what's to come next week. Now, I would say prepare your account and your weapons and whatnot, and if you're not quite there yet, then these are the following elements to really cater to, which I feel like most already are, since fun fact, Light is one of. Just before we continue, if you guys do want to support your boy, we're almost at 200 supporters. I appreciate it. By all means, to my supporters, the link is down below for the Deluxe Pass giveaway. We'll be choosing the winners for the Deluxe Pass giveaway next week when the new update goes live. I'll be picking a handful of you guys to win it. So, again, bit of a look at the roadmap as per usual. Go to Ruji. All these, I feel like some people aren't going to be liking on the route they're taking with him, but here's the inside knowledge that we have so far on what is going down. So, will the new workshop be light and fire? Yes. So that furthermore confirms that the fire element on the first 3 characters are going to be, I guess, elevating the fire team in general. So when it comes to Azel being the first one, potentially Kane, and then go to Ruji, that's kind of how it's looking. Obviously, with the previous information that we got, seems Azel is going to be an attacker, Kane is an assassin type character, and with Goto Ruji, so Goto is fire/wind tank. Now, originally I just thought, wait, what? Oh, they haven't decided yet what element he's going to be. He's either going to be fire or wind. That's my original thought process, but then I realized, wait, is he a 2-element character? Now, honestly, I knew at some point that this is something that they could quite easily do, right? Well, to be fair, I really thought they were going to give it to Thomas, if anything, right? Give him the 2-element 1 character type deal. And it was only a matter of time where they were actually going to start to introduce hybrid characters that can work in multiple teams, of course, in mono teams in specific, of course. And so I think that's what that means. Unless I'm tripping and the line means all, but to me this is stating that he's a 2-element type character. Now look at the typing. I mean, sorry, look at the role he's playing. I knew it. I was really hoping for this not to be the case, but Goto Luigi, with the current info that we know of, he's a breaker. He's a breaker. But a breaker covering two roles. This could be very interesting because, I mean, let's be real, with where the wind element is at right now, wind is also pretty strong. So, I mean, to be fair, Jinchuriki was still kicking ass and chewing bubblegum. Like, with where the current wind team is at right now, it's, I mean, well, then again, just having a character that can do two elements in one, that's huge. So, take that as you will. How good are the new cores? Mostly mid, 2 of them are fine. So, keep in mind, 6 new cores. Yeah, 2 of them are fine. I'm curious to see on what the additional cores are, if mostly are mid. Well, then again, the current cores aren't exactly anything too great either. I mean, to be fair, let's be real, the cores themselves do help out tremendously in terms of power level increase. Demus Workshop Brilliant Light is weak to light and fire, so that's what I've mentioned. With where the game is at right now, the majority of us has catered to light, especially with Thomas being a thing. So in that sense, we'll be okay. I think the only thing which some might struggle with is setting up their Sunjin Woo. But then again, we do have that free-to-play light weapon, and obviously, coming back to the previous light weapon that we had, this light weapon, I've seen, like, even though I've kind of fully explained on how this weapon works, I've still seen people saying, oh, it's terrible in damage, and I'm just like, that's not the focus. The focus of this light weapon is that this is a crazy light buffer for your main light DPS weapon. Now, this is the free-to-play spear that we have, so in terms of for the Workshop Brilliant Light, it's actually not that bad because the fight itself will be long, so you can actually build up your spear. So having the gold-tailed fox would actually be very nice in the long-term wise. At the very beginning, it will be a bit kind of slow-paced, unfortunately, but it's more designed for weapons such as like the staff itself, who can just kind of dish out high amount of damage practically instantly. That's kind of how that works. But it'll be usable for the staff. I mean, for the spear. It's just you're gonna have to build up to it. That's the only downside to it. If that's the route that you take. I mean, it can work well with the huntsman too. If you guys wanna rely on that weapon. Keep in mind, you've also got the fire weapon. So realistically, you got the Phoenix Soul. I mean, you've also got the Vulcan's Rage, but then again, that won't pair up with the fire weapon, so you would have to resort to using your Plum Sword with the fire element weapon. But we are getting a new fire weapon, just an FYI. So, how about the next Monarch? Yogu, which we knew of. His type weakness not finalized yet. Okay, so yeah, no, we don't know what weakness. I mean, well then again, yeah, Yogu's way away. Okay, that's fine. Do we have a total power requirements for the next Workshop Brilliant Light? We do, it's down here. So, new weapon, the Kaseka Fan Daggers, which you knew about, which are going to be free to play, water typing. On top of that, we're getting another fire weapon, a fire fan. A fan? Oh, that'll be interesting to see and how that's going to be playing out. But again, kind of expected, since fire typing is getting that buff up in terms of a new weapon for Sunjin Woo, especially fire element being the main attraction for the newest piece of content. With the hint of light, of course, yeah, so a new fire weapon is in the midst of things, so that will be interesting to see how that works out. When it comes to the total power requirement for the new upcoming Workshop Brilliant Light, I feel like it is at a very, very good standing with the power level requirement. So like with easy, 400 to 500k, normal, 650 to 750. What would hard be actually? I'll just double check something. Okay, so with Vulcan it's 150 to 250, 300 to 400, and then it's 5 to 6, and then with, okay, 6, 7, and then, wait, what? 6, 7, okay, so it's going to be somewhat similar to how Baron is in terms of with the harder difficulty being around this power level. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, 6 new cores. Yogu will be for Wales in March. This? Well, we know that, wait, Lord of the Phantom World, Yogmunt. I'm so confused. Okay, it's fine. Alright, it's fine. we'll see what that is, what that is about. Do we also get new cores in the old Workshop of Brilliant Light? No. When it comes to Vulcan and Baron, the current cores that you can farm out are these as follows, of course. So if you want the additional new 6 cores being released, they won't be added into the Baron, they won't be added into the Vulcan, they'll be added into the Demus Workshop Brilliant Light, if that's what you're specifically after. Now, I don't know how good those cores are going to be, but it's best to farm out the new ones, because you never know, it could help us out in the long run, and hey, you never know, they could be slightly better, who knows. Plus it's just good to have variety at the ready. But yeah, so in terms of thinking that you can farm out the previous Workshop Brilliant Light, kind of easy mode it out, unfortunately that won't be the case, because they won't have the new cores. So only the new Workshop Brilliant Light will have the new cores. Maybe at a later time they might kind of spread it out a little bit, so that way you can farm it through those previous Workshop Brilliant Light. But for right now, their sole focus right now is to make the new Workshop of Brilliant Light the main attraction. So yeah, that is the current info that we have right now on what the developers are working on. So new Workshop of Brilliant Light, power level seems to be somewhat similar to how Baron is working. Light and Fire is going to be starting off 2025 to get buffed up across the board, so that's going to be fantastic. 6 new cores, and Goto Uruji might be the first ever 2-in-1 element, or he's either going to be wind or fire. It's either he's going to be one of the elements or he's both of them, and it seems that right now they're looking into him or making him a breaker slash tank. So that'll be interesting to see on how we go about tackling that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is where we're going to call it. So yeah, that's all we know so far.